welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, y'all? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes us wonder. Out here in the safari, in the outback, in the Sharika Amazon forest. But I just want to talk about something real quick. I was talking with a young lad the other day, and we was talking about, combative artists and athletes in general. Move this over some. Athletes in general, and we were talking about amateur and professional athletes. And I was explaining to him that in most cases there's a difference, but then in other most cases it's not a difference. Y'all, amateur and professional, don't let the words fool you. Really, amateur and professional it really just deals with money. It's just the money allotment. That's it, y'all. That's it. Because a lot of amateur athletes, most Olympians are called amateur athletes. Guys that do combat sports on the world level, such as Jordan Burroughs, Ronda Rousey, Dennis Sargouche, they are called amateurs, but they compete at a professional level. See what I'm saying? So really the words really have to do with more so money allotment and how you're able to receive money. All right, because believe you me, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Lomachenko, and their last probably 20, 30 amateur, quote unquote amateur fights, those dudes were probably already fighting at a professional level. I mean, of course with the ins and out of how amateur boxing scores points, but they were already on a level to where they can compete professionally, quote unquote. And all this means is professionally you could legally receive money. You could have a manager, you can have HBO, NBC, or a promoter, whatever, pay you outright in public, write you checks. See, as an amateur, since I've also been an amateur athlete on the world level, you're not allowed to receive that money. That's why NCAA is also very dirty, and they're just as bad as all these other organizations. See, you're not allowed to receive money outright. So therefore, a lot of amateur athletes have to get sponsors, such as Prefontaine back in the 70s or whatever, or Jordan Burroughs. They get sponsors, such as being on the Wheaties box, or having Nike sponsor them, and that's the loophole for them to get paid, because they're already on a professional level. All right, they're just being amateur to compete for their country or to compete at an Olympiad or for whatever reasons. Maybe in their country it's easy for them to make more money as an amateur. Usually it's not, but amateur you just have to be sneakier with it. That's why the NCAA has all these crazy rules and restrictions, but everybody and their mama knows that all these top colleges are paying these dudes to perform at these high levels. They're paying these dudes because it's like a job. Believe you me, being an ex-NCAA athlete, once you get there, and if you're a starter or all-American level, that coach, that university expects you to perform. You got to treat it like a job. Let's put it like that. They expect you to treat that shit like a job. You got to miss tons of days of school because you're traveling all around the nation. You're practicing all type of crazy hours during all the breaks. I know for me personally, since I was a grappler, we didn't get a Christmas break. We didn't get a spring break. We didn't get a Thanksgiving break. And see, what's the other breaks? We didn't get a fall break. Right before Halloween, you get the little 2-3 day fall break in some states, I guess. I don't know if it's everywhere. And we got about 1/3 of a summer. And I can't imagine if you play basketball or football or baseball, with that long season is all year round. So you're basically paid to go there and be, take that sport as your job, as your life. So that's why I'm totally for NCAA athletes getting paid. See what I'm saying, y'all? See, you go there and then it's such a pull by the... Matter of fact, I remember the first thing my coach said to me upon walking upon the campus is, he's like, you're here to wrestle, nothing else. Wrestling comes first, everything else comes second. And I know other athletes, basketball players, football players, don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about class, don't worry about living, don't worry about eating expenses. Football comes first. This is your job. You're doing this 24/7. So it's kind of crooked in that way that, them dudes don't be showing up to classes and they still get C's and B's. But that's what they were paid and came there to do. And I know for a fact, 'cause I spoke to coaches and athletic directors. I'm not gonna say the university, but it's a real big D1 university. I was speaking to the athletic director, and off the record, he was saying, look, coach, without this football program, we would not have the money to fund anything else on the campus. The football program brought in so many millions that they used the money from the football program, the athletes who are out there performing and winning, to fund the whole, not only the university, but to build new facilities and for all the other athletes. All right, so just one program alone can fund a whole university, especially if they're good. So that's why you should pay the athletes, because think about it. If you the starting quarterback or the starting guard for a big school and y'all are selling out tickets and y'all bringing in millions of dollars, but you can barely eat, you know what I'm saying? You could barely pass the class. I think something's wrong with that. So of course they should have the high dollar tutors and have extra help and extra food and a nice car. I mean, look at all the revenue to bring it to the university. All right, so back to this amateur versus professional thing. Now, hey, shoot, ants out here, y'all, mosquitoes. Now, the amateur versus professional thing, y'all, don't get caught up in the word. It's just a word. I can't really describe it like I should be able to describe it. Let's say you got a craft or art or a skill, right? And you worked on it for 20 years. You on the pro level, you on a professional level. You can outdo most people in your town. You're well renowned for your art or your craft or your skill, and you're a professional. But let's say you get moved to another company, or you get moved out of your country and you got to adjust to another company. See, you're already a professional level, but in that company you're an amateur. You know, you might not start off with the best amount of pay, or maybe you will because of your high level skill. But let's say you get moved to Japan in the oil field or engineering, but you professional over in let's say Guyana or something. You done it 20 years, but you got to adjust to a new system. You got to adjust. So you're amateur. People that are above you in that company or your business will look at you as an amateur. You see what I'm saying? And by the way, if you are that adept in a skill, I advise you get your own business and work with your family and do colloquial. That way we ain't got to be dependent on the government. Everybody have their own business and we support one another, but that's another topic. But back to the company. You in that new company, you already at a professional level, but in that company you're an amateur. See what I'm saying? So it's almost like now, it wouldn't take long for your skill to shine once you learn how the system works. Because once you learn how the system works, then you could tweak your skill to make it a high level for that company. Just same as Muhammad Ali jumping in the ring, being able to defeat all types of styles at their peak level. The same as Floyd Mayweather being able to jump in the ring and be able to adjust to all types of styles. You see what I'm saying? The same as Jordan Burroughs jumping on him. The same as Anderson Silva be able to jump in the ring and to adjust and knock out and choke out people from all types of styles. See, so that's what the true pro does. That's what the true professional does. So don't let the words confuse you. Really, amateur and professional really is just with money allotment. It's a money loophole game. All right? Because if you have been, let's say, doing taekwondo on the world level, you're going to tournaments, you're going to U.S. nationals, you even go over to Hanguk, Korea, and perform, and you're on the Olympic ladder, and you took third one year, then you went to Worlds. If you've done that all your life, and let's say you don't get a sponsor, maybe you're not as high level as somebody else, you've done that for 20 years. See, that's why a lot of combative artists are forced to turn to WWE and the UFC, because the amateur level, if you're not on a high level and don't have a sponsor, you can't get paid. It's almost like you're starving. You're fighting for your life, really. So that's why a lot of people like Ronda Rousey turn to MMA and UFC. People like Brock Lesnar turn to WWE. But back to the main point. If you've been doing that for 20 years, there's no way in the world that you're technically a quote unquote amateur. You are pro. You are pro level. You are great at your skill. All right. The amateur is just a term, just to, I guess, really just to take away some of your money so you won't get paid outright. Okay. That's all it means. You're an amateur in the eyes of, you can't receive a $5 million check from the U.S. or England because you're in the Olympiad, and that's against their so-called rules as an amateur. So as a pro, you have to join K1. You're already a pro, but once you get into K1, once you get into boxing, again, like Rigondeaux and Lomachenko, I know I'm being repetitive here, you're already on the pro level. That's why it's easy for Lomachenko to come in and after one fight, or maybe it was his first professional fight, quote unquote professional fight, he was able to get a title shot. See, he was already on the pro level, y'all. So he came right in getting championship title fights. And with, 4 bouts I think he has as a pro, or is it 3 bouts? He's already amassed the belt. Same with Rigondeaux at 19, 18. Probably same with Lara, because he don't have that many quote unquote pro fights. So amateur and professional, y'all, if you've been doing it for a long time, you're great at your skill, you're already on the pro level. It's just that the amateur shit got the rules and they trying to, they making money off you like NCAA does, but they don't want to pay you like you should be getting paid because, they a gang too. So amateur versus professional, if you've been doing it for a while, you're already on the pro level. Just the amateur is just a title to, for them to keep their hands in your pockets, for them to curtail your kid's ass. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you do, be great at it. Be on the pro level, even if you are on the quote unquote amateurs. And then just keep bossing up, get your money, get your endorsements, get your deals, and if push come to shove, like most combative artists that really love their art, go and join you a K1 or a Grand Prix or boxing, because we love boxing. Go and join you a BKB or a Kumite. All right, y'all, that's enough rambling. Welcome to the jungle. We're gonna have to cut this here directly. It's not my yard, but we're gonna have to cut this here directly, y'all. Might have to show y'all before and after. All right, y'all be good. Stay diligent.